Uh, you can hear me, right? It says my microphone is not working properly, but like you can hear me. Okay, cool. Fuck it, we're just gonna do that. Okay, cool. So here's the deal. I was in my office. Laura says, this is my first Zoom with you. This is so much fun. Ah! Yeah, so here's the deal. In my office, jamming out, having a great time. And I'm like, you know what? Why do people do recorded webinars? Like, if you see like webinars and people are like, oh, sign up, 95% of those are recorded, right? So you're watching it and you're like interacting with the person who's doing it. And that person isn't even live, but you think they're live because they're tricking you because it's all automated. And I'm like, what fun is that? Like, that is so dumb. Like, I want to be here and celebrate with you guys and dance and have fun and do all the things. Deborah says this is her first Zoom too. Yes. How many of you guys, this is your first Zoom experience with me? Can I see a show of hands? Yes. Oh my God, so many of you. Okay, so let me ask another question. Wow, oh my God, you guys are great. There's 83 of you here. Okay, so here's the thing. Before we go into this, I'm just gonna like share my heart with you. Six Figure Biz Babe, when we do our live calls, like I can see your faces. It's a Zoom room, which is everyone gets to show up and everyone gets to talk and like go back and forth. But this is a Zoom webinar, which is a little bit different. And so what that means is like I talk at you and just like engage with you in the chat, right? So it's kind of like for privacy. I don't see your face. I'm not seeing you in your underwear or your messy hair or in your bathtub, wherever you're watching this. So you shouldn't really be watching this in the bathtub because it's like really weird. But people listen to the podcast in the shower, so that's cool. Anyway, back to this topic. I love the energy of the group experience, right? Like there's 87 of you guys on right now, and it just gives me all of the feels, all the goosebumps, all the high vibes. And what I want you to take away from this, like the experience of what I do gets me so fucking excited. And if you're in a place where you're trying to make money in your business and you're struggling to reach the outcome, first and foremost, before we go into this training, you just really need to ask yourself, what do I have to change so that I can be so lit up about what I do, right? Because I could have like recorded a webinar and like planned it out and done all these things, but I want to dance and I want to listen to music and I want to engage with you. And happy birthday, Christina Marie! Ah! Right? Like this is the thing. Like I know that if I did everything the other way that I'm quote unquote supposed to for time freedom, I wouldn't be happy. But I love, love, love coming on here live and celebrating with all of you guys and sharing value. Like this is what lights me up. We all have different elements of bliss that we need to follow, but I know mine to be true that when I show up and get to play with you guys in a live call experience, Lauren says I have the best energy. Yeah, because I really like this. Like, this is fun for me. It makes me feel like I'm on stage. It gives me this feeling of like, oh my God, these women are here to grow businesses and I am so ready to teach them and pour my heart into them. And so today we're going to go through something that is not anywhere else. I thought about this because I could stream this into Facebook, but all you babes took time out of your day to show up somewhere else besides Facebook. So I'm not going to put this on Facebook. This is a private setting for us. I'll record it and put a replay maybe somewhere. I don't know. I haven't decided. But first and foremost, you bet your ass you should stick around because if you signed up for Six Figure Biz, how many of you guys are Six Figure Biz Babe students or you have been? Me. Oh my God. Hi, guys. Okay. Holy shit. There's a lot of you. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, so Six Figure Biz Babe students, you definitely want to stick around because this is content that you will get, but you'll get it on an even deeper level, right? This is just the surface level taste of like what's going to happen starting February 4th for you guys for 6 weeks. But in addition, there is a special announcement for you guys. So, and I'm not pregnant. It's not a baby. I don't know why people think that's what a surprise always is, but it's not that. I'm going to give you guys something extra special. So make sure you're sticking around today. How many of you guys, what's the word that you're feeling? I was going to say, how many of you are excited? But like, what's the word? Can you put it in the comments? Fire, peppy, ooh, elevated, hype, static, electric, productive, powerful. Oh my God, chills. I love this. Oh my God, this is so great. Guys, also, side note, we have 2 spots left for our retreat. So if that's something that floats your boat, please reach out to us via DM. Literally 2 spots. It's in March, Los Angeles. It's going to be fucking epic. I am so excited. How much is the retreat? It's $4,444. It's a week-long experience. You get your room and board covered. You get your Tony Robbins ticket included. You get all of your meals for the first half of the trip included. 3 days of coaching with me. 3 days in upgraded seats at Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within. That's 4. And your housing is included. So it's like fucking score. And Erica's asking, will that happen again this year? In Los Angeles, no. This is the only round we're doing. Okay, guys, enough of that. Can we just dive in? Can we have all the fun? Maybe we should put some music on and dance again. Okay, I'm ready to rock with you. I am so honored to be here. I love your words to describe all of the things. I am going to speak from my heart. There is no script. There is no sales banter that I've chosen to copy here. I'm not selling you anything in this webinar. This is literally just teaching you all the fucking things. So let's go. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Make sure, can you just put in the comments after I share the screen? You guys can hear me, right? Like you can still hear me? Cool. All right, let's rock and roll. I want to be able to see your chat while I'm doing this. So let me just see if I can pull that up. No, I can't. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I can look at what we're doing today and also teach you guys, right? Like this is very important. I want to see your comments. I want to engage with you while we're chatting. Okay, cool. Can everybody see this full screen slide? All good. Yes. All right. So are you ready? Are you so fucking ready? Like, I just want you to step into the idea that in an hour, you can get so much clarity and so many breakthroughs that you leave this hour a totally different person. That is my non-selfish reason to show up here today. I want you guys to come into this and come out of this as a totally fucking different human being. Amy says the colors are so pretty. Yeah, this is our new branding. We've been gearing up to launch a whole new interactive website for you. I'm really fucking excited. So we've been playing with our visuals and our branding. Yes. So my intention, my non-selfish thing for today, I want you to leave with the fire and the certainty and the chills and the feelings and all the things like a total fucking badass, like Rosie says. I want you to believe in every desire that you have. And so to start, what I want you guys to do, we're going to engage through this training. I want you to imagine if you could not fail. Let's just pretend we're in a world where you could not fail. What would you accomplish in 2019? I want you to put that in the comments. I want you to think about it and then take action by writing it out. What would you accomplish in 2019 if you could not fail? What is the goal and the intention of what you would drive towards this year if you could not fail? Lisa says leaving her job. Ashley says 6 figures. Erica says purchasing a home. Andrea says becoming a blogger. One of you guys wrote $1 million business. Fuck yes. Laura says 6 figures, family Disney cruise, Paris trip book with your, oh, that's beautiful. I'd love to go to Paris. Brandy says I'd make $200,000 and leave my full-time job. Publish books, group retreats, 6 figures, beautiful. All of this, guys. Victoria says 44,000 plus in revenue. Totally. Love that 4-4. Side note, Erica, when Victoria actually said that, not Erica. So when I, last year when I set my intention for my business, which you're going to learn about in this training, I wanted my angel numbers. I want $444,444, and we hit it literally the week that I set the intention the previous year. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. So what I want you guys to do as you're like writing these things out, Bree says quit her job. Alina says work full-time on training others. Kathleen says 6 figures at least and a new home. I want you to pay attention when you think about the thing that you declared. I want you to pay attention to how it feels. Does it feel exciting? Does it feel like a spark? Does it feel like a transformation? Does it feel like a huge up level, right? Like what is the feeling? We all have a different feeling to describe the goal that we want. It's not the goal, it's the feeling attached to it. So tell me now, guys, what is the feeling that you want for this ultimate goal. Kathy says a weight off her shoulders. Jen says badass, relief, pure happiness, freedom. I'm going to see freedom 20 times. I know it. Relief, right? Empowered, independence, arrived, excitement. These are beautiful feelings. Your feelings will drive you, because so important for you guys to remember, if you take anything away from this first section of the training, when you set a goal, in order for you to achieve that goal, it is not just about the physical connection to that item, right? It's not just about thinking about the house or thinking about six figures, thinking about, $1 million, whatever it is. What would that ultimate outcome make you feel? And that emotional energy that you're trying to connect into, when you truly tap into it in an authentic, high vibration space, you become a magnet for the thing that you actually want. So really important for you to remember, as you go on this journey over the next year or 2 years or whatever it may be, pay attention when you set goals for yourself to asking that follow-up question. Okay, what would that make me feel? I want to lose 30 pounds. What would that make me feel? Confident, certain, empowered, prosperous, badass, right? Like, what would it make me feel? And then knowing what that goal would make you feel, your next step is to daily focus on tapping into that feeling. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a yes in the comments if that makes sense. Yes, I'd be very devastated if somebody said no. So here's my question. You guys all wrote and declared your very specific thing in the beginning of this training. Christina says breakthrough. Okay, so side note about this before we go in. In our Six-Figure Biz Babe group coaching calls, we do this thing where there's like a lot of in-person interventions. If you haven't been through any of my group coaching programs, there's 111 people on the line. Angel numbers. So if you haven't been into any of my group coaching programs, we do this thing where when you're consuming the content, if you get a breakthrough, you write down the word breakthrough, right? I want you to super declare it. Like if you feel like, oh my God, holy shit, she said something and I just had a light bulb, honor it and put it in the comments by writing the word breakthrough. This is something we do in all of our coaching programs. So here's my question. You know what you want, but do you actually have a plan? Are you trying to achieve that thing kind of like whimsically, like hoping, crossing your fingers, trying, right? Giving it a shot, like that language? Is that how you're showing up to reach your goal? Or is it just a dream? And my husband always says this, and I had to include this. Hope is for people who do not have a plan. That's really important for you to remember, right? Because all of us hope for things. All of us long for certain things in our life, but are you actually taking those desires and coming up with a game plan to reach those goals? Because that's when a dream becomes your destiny. The minute you set a plan and you come up with a strategy of sorts, right, which we're going to talk about, that's when you take this ultimate outcome that you want and it goes from being a dream to becoming your destiny. And what happens in between that dream and the destiny is the decision to take action. Okay, I know we're covering a lot and I'm like just pouring it all into you, but remember, we have the dream, you have your destiny, which is created by strategy, and the thing that comes between the dream and the destiny is the decision to take action, and then repeatedly taking the right action over and over and over again. So let's talk about what we're going to cover in this webinar. I have goosebumps, you guys. I'm just so excited today. So in this webinar, we're going to be covering the 4 secrets to making 6 figures, which is an overall broad, encompassing perspective, okay? You're not going to walk away here with so many overwhelming details and feeling really overly educated, right? I don't want that to happen today. You're going to walk away from this training with a very clear overhead view of what has to happen in order for you to create 6 figures. You're going to be able to specifically identify in your own area of life and business which of those secrets is kind of falling short for you. A majority of us need to work on all of these, and this is something that I've made up. You cannot find this anywhere. This is not in a book or a Tony Robbins seminar. This is very unique to just this training. I've literally never talked about this with anybody, so you guys are in for a treat. So these are the 4 secrets to making 6 figures, and I'm going to teach you how to go from struggling hobbyist to a successful business babe. Just as a challenge for you guys, I want you to declare in the comments for 2019 specifically, what is your financial outcome desire? what is the financial goal? The very specific, clear. I know some of you guys already did this, but let's go back to it on a deeper level. Some of you say 6 figures, 111,000, 50,000, 100K, 15K months, 222,000. Oh my God, I love all of these numbers. This makes my heart so happy because you're all in the right place, right? Like every single number that you guys have put in the comments here, I have hit it. I have hit that number. And if I could hit it in the timeline that I've hit my goals, there's absolutely no reason why any of you cannot reach that goal as well. The online space is so fucking abundant. It's so abundant that it's overwhelming, but when you really show up to consume the right information at the right time, being in the right place, like this webinar today, you will have huge breakthroughs and business will become easy. So it's time to make magic happen now. And I put this slide in here. Obviously, I took this picture and I took this picture. Really sad. I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh my God, that green baby, he died. I remember when I got this at like a baby shower. It was one of the like little middle, what is it? The thing in the middle of the table, I don't know, the flower thing, whatever it is. But the centerpiece, thank you. But I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh my God, I still have that book. I still have that notebook. I murdered that plant and I feel really bad. But yeah, I want you to really focus on the fact that like, this is not about taking in a bunch of different information and then sitting on it and not taking action for a long time. I want you guys to walk away transformed today. I want you to decide to make magic happen right now, okay? Not 3 years from now, not 3 months from now, right now. And I'm going to share a story with you guys today because in order for me to help you realize how possible things are, I really want you to understand where I came from. Because with the power of story, you can identify your own strengths and your own connections to my narrative. And with that, it will help you be so fucking inspired to say, holy shit, she did it this way. Why can't I? Right? Really important, the power of story. So this is me back in 2015. I was working for CBS News. I was a producer. I had a job that a lot of people would probably be super impressed with. Everyone's saying they like the brown hair. It's so funny. Yeah, on paper, I had this job that was super cool. Like that's Gavin DeGraw. Like, I don't know if you know who he is, but I was a big One Tree Hill fan, right? And so I got to interview famous people like Denzel Washington and Jessica Biel and a lot of other really beautiful people, Zac Efron, right? Like I had a job that people would have drooled over. And I did everything right to get there, right? I worked really hard in school and I lived a very emotionally traumatic life, but I knew that success was a desire from a very young age. I was like, I want to be successful. I want to do something really big in this world. And so I hustled in college, and right out of college, I got a job at CBS. And I don't know if you guys have ever done this, and I'm just going to be a little bit vulnerable with you, but if you've ever lived your life trying to do the things that you're quote unquote supposed to do just because you want to feel like you're doing everything right, it all falls apart, right? Like getting a job that other people are impressed by, or picking a career that is supposed to be lucrative, right? Going and majoring in college for something that your parents are proud of. Like you do all this fucking shit that like it is told. It's other people tell you, hey, if you do this, it's going to create success. If you do this, you'll be happy. If you do this, you'll feel fulfilled. And I did it. And I was really fucking miserable. And that picture in the middle where you see me, smiling and looking at my camera, I had a passion for visuals. I was in television, for Christ's sake, right? Like I loved it. But in all of this, there was this deep desire I had to do something bigger than I was already doing. If you guys have listened to my story about how I stepped into business, be patient with me. I'm going to share this with you guys again today. So I had been through a really traumatic life. I was diagnosed with a mental illness really young. I attempted suicide at age 19. I married a drug addict and had suffered some addictions myself. And I lived in this really terrible low vibe space of, as long as you're getting by, you should be happy, right? And so after I healed my life, I went on this whole journey to really pick myself up and get my act together and get a good job and divorce my ex-husband and do all of these things that healed me, right? Falling in love with personal development. Once I did that for myself, or I started to do that for myself, I felt this deep calling in my heart to help other people, right? I did something that a lot of people who, if you knew me back then, you would have not known me, right? Like I was such a fucking different person. I was depressed and sad, overwhelmed. I felt like I was never going to have the life I wanted. And I looked at other people and I was like, oh, they have it great. Like maybe not for me though, right? Like that was how I lived my whole entire life, whether it was looking at people who had healthy relationships or were beautiful or loved their bodies or had success financially. I looked at all that and I was like, great, they have it. I don't think I can have that, right? And so once I healed that, everything in my life started to change. I got an amazing new man who's now my husband. I fucking love him. I healed my confidence. I transformed my body. I did all these things. And then here was this little whisper in my head, which was like, you should start a blog. And then immediately I was like, oh my God, no, I can't do that. Because like, what would my mom say if she saw me showing up on social media? What would my family think if I was like doing all of that, right? How many of you guys can relate to that, where you have people who are kind of like embarrassed by how you show up on social media, right? Or you think that you're going to be judged on social media. I was so scared. So I ignored this whisper. And then eventually what happened, if you've never heard this expression before, when you don't listen to the whisper, the universe sends you a little feather. And then when you don't listen to it, it sends a brick, throws it at your face. And when you don't listen to that, it sends a fucking Mack truck. And so in this place of knowing I wanted to do something bigger, but being so scared to do it, my corporate job started to fall apart. I got a really abusive boss. I switched my hours. I was working midnight to 9 a.m. My relationship with my husband was so beautiful, but I couldn't enjoy it because I was working so much and sleeping throughout the day. I was miserable. And I remember going to him and saying, honey, I think I want to start a blog. I think I want to try to grow a business. And he said this to me, and I'll never forget it. If not now, when? And the truth is I could have looked at that environment and given myself all the reasons why it was a bad idea. I had an apartment in the city that I had to pay for. I had a car. I had all of these financial responsibilities. I was an adult. I had health insurance. What was I going to do, right? But he was right. If not now, when? And with every financial investment that I've ever made in my life, I always come back to that question, because the reality is there is never a perfect time to go after what you want. And if I sat around waiting for the perfect time, I would have just had more and more excuses. So breakthrough, Lisa, yes. So rather than looking at my situation back in 2015 and saying, oh, why are all the reasons, I shouldn't quit my job? I sat and asked, why is now the perfect time? Why is now the perfect time to do this, right? And I have a lot of people I work with one-on-one or in my groups who have kids and feel scared to invest in themselves because they think that money should be going elsewhere. And it's like, if not now, when, right? When would now be a perfect time to transform your life? Seriously. Amy says breakthrough. Yes. Congratulations, guys. So here's what I did. I quit my job. My husband and I put all of our things in storage. We left the apartment. I got rid of my car and I moved in with his parents for a year. And we decided that I was going to give this a shot. And so in 2015, I started a website called What is Perfection? There's a whole story around that. I won't go into it, but it was this passion I had to just share my stories and make money sharing my stories. That was all I wanted to do. I had no idea what life coaching was. I had no idea what online e-learning was. I had nothing, no awareness that I have today. But all I had was this hunger and fire in my heart to do something amazing in this world. Guys, put a yes in the comments. Do you have a hunger or a fire to do something amazing in this world? Yes. Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you something. This webinar will be longer than expected because I'm just going to ramble and share my heart with you. But I work with a lot of women who crave financial success. And there have been multiple times where I've gotten on calls with people or had conversations with people who have said, I just want you to show me how to make money. And I tell them, no, I'm not interested in showing people how to make money. I'm interested in teaching people how to transform their life and how to make money doing what they love in their purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you don't have a plan, you don't have any potential of profit, and I'm not interested. I only work with women who are so driven in their hearts to make change and to do something big in the world. Even if it's, I want to make money to change the lives of my family. I want to make money to change my own life, right? Yes, let's do it, right? But just to make money, to feel successful, not interested. Sierra says breakthrough. Yes. Money comes and goes. You need to adjust your mindset and the money will follow. Yes, we're going to cover that today. I'm so excited. So here's my question for you guys. Are you listening to the whispers? You know, this leap was the scariest leap at the time that I'd ever made in my life. I walked away from something that on paper everybody should have been impressed with. And I started a blog. And I pulled my 401k and I was like, all right, for a year, I'm going to try to do this and let's hope it works. I moved in with my boyfriend's parents, for God's sake. I moved to a totally different state, right? I took a lot of risk, but I did it because I knew that if I was following my heart to do something brilliant in this world, I formed the concrete belief that I would be supported in that, right? Why would the universe say, oh, fuck you, I'm going to screw you over? Because I took a chance on doing something different and special in this world to help people, right? So when I anchored into that, I knew it was time. And if not, now when, right? So are you listening to the whispers? So I'd love to tell you this story of how I quit my job and everything was magical and life was great. No, it was a fucking shit show, okay? So the first year of my business was filled with doubt. This is a photo of me. I used to do photo shoots. If you guys have heard the stories of my early days, I would make money anywhere I could. So I would do some photography for people. I built websites for people. I was trying to grow my business. I was working at a gym daycare, right? Like I just was like, any money I can get, I'll take it. And I wasn't really too fulfilled, right? And so I would do these things where I'd spend a day writing all of my blog posts, and then I'd spend a day writing producing videos, and then I would do a photo shoot day, right? So this is from one of my photo shoot days. Then I was doing all the photography myself, right? Like I really was going about this, trying to do all the things myself, and I didn't have a plan. So I kind of had this mindset of feeling really happy and like I was in my bliss, and then followed by a bunch of doubt. And so these were some of the thoughts that came to my mind. Yeah, this is the same bench that's in my office right now. Isn't that so funny? I have so many symbolic things around. I could spend the whole day going around my desk and showing you all the things that like have changed my life. So I hope I'll be successful. I'll try this and see if this works. This is so hard. Nothing is working. Maybe I should look for a job. Those were my thoughts. How many of you guys have had these thoughts at some point in your business journey? Yeah, doesn't it suck? And the truth is, like, this is not you, right? These thoughts, these worries, these fears, these are not you. They are your ego and your primal brain trying to keep you safe, right? Because you're scared. You're taking risk. You're doing something that most women and men dream of doing but never have the courage to do it, and you're here, right? Like that's fucking incredible. And so at the same time, there's a little bit of that uncertainty of like, what if I'm making the wrong decision? What if I'm not cut out for this? What if I try this and I fail publicly? I mean, how humiliating would that be? Like that was my thought process over and over and over again, right? Because I wanted to feel safe and certain, and I felt so uncertain in what I was doing. And so that first and probably into the second year of business, I tried all of the things, right? You guys can see I pulled some of the things from the What is Perfection brand just to show you guys. I did everything. I made master classes. I made group coaching programs. I created PDF guides to grow my email list because that was something I learned was important, and that's something I now teach. I opened up a podcast, which is still on iTunes, called The Imperfection in Me, where I shared my life and my struggles. I did blog posts about being a rape victim and attempting suicide afterwards, and building myself up from rock bottom, and what it was like to get divorced and finding out you're married to a drug addict, right? Like I talked about everything, and that came with its whole world of fears of vulnerability, right? Like I'm trying to make money, and at the same time, I'm basically getting naked emotionally in front of everybody who's following me on social media. I also joined a network marketing company. You can see that bottom photo down there, trying to grow essential oil businesses. I literally tried all the fucking things. And what was powerful about this was that I failed upwards. I had a year, and my husband and I set that year. We said for 1 year, I'm going to let you bust ass and go towards this goal and cross your fingers and work really hard. And after a year, if you're not making the money that you want to make or that can provide for us, Then we'll evaluate. Then we'll see if you should go and get a regular job again. So I had a year, and that was scary because I was like, well, what if after a year, no one wants to hire me in corporate anymore because I've been out of the field for so long. So I just kept going. I buried my head. I worked hard. I kept hustling. My network marketing business, Catherine's asking, I still collect revenue from my MLM business, I think. Actually, no, I handed it off. I handed it off to my upline because I didn't want to be building it anymore, which I'll talk to you guys about later on. So I did everything. I was like, let me just try. Let me see what works. And in this year was the most emotionally disastrous yet transformational year of my life because I failed upwards. I tried all the things. I tried to figure out what worked. And inside of that, right, I'm able to do what I do now, right? In hindsight, this was the year that changed everything for me. It's the year that I learned all the things that I now get to teach. I figured it out, right? And so in that year, I had a magical breakthrough. I learned the 4 secrets to 6 figures and my life changed, right? And that's the overhead simplistic view, right? I learned these 4 secrets and everything changed. But just to prove to you guys, or not to prove, but just to show you how that happened, if you look at my revenue back then, right? July, August, September, October, November, right? That's 6 months. You can see from this first image, I was never passing $1,000 of revenue. I was always at this lower level for 6 fucking months, and month after month after month, I just kept trying. I was like, just make a little more, Lauren, just make a little more, just make a little more. And when I didn't have the 4 secrets, I didn't know where to start, right? I felt really overwhelmed and I was like, okay, try this, try that, give it a shot. I would study all of these people on social media, right? And I was taking pieces of what they were doing. But if you look at February, right? I went from making a couple of $100s each month to February making nearly $9,000. What the fuck happened, right? What happened? And this is the proof, guys. This is a tangible proof of how you can literally go from anything into hitting these 6 level, because $8,000 is a 6-figure month, right? You can do that. And here's what ended up happening. So my obsession, first of all, just to show you, my obsession in coaching, something called success competence. You don't know what this is? This is the idea that there are people who are successful, but they don't really know what the fuck they did, right? Like, they're like, I don't fucking know what I did, but I'm doing it. But then there are people who evaluate their success. And I became obsessed with studying this journey of those 6 months of making a couple of $100s to going all the way into hitting $8,500 to then hitting $20,000, $30,000. This month we hit over $70,000 of income, right? So I became obsessed as a teacher and is wanting to turn around and give this all to you. I was fixated on what happened between that January, February period of my life where everything changed. And it became very apparent to me when I discovered the 4 secrets that I'm going to teach you guys today. So just to show you an overhead view here, year 1 of my business, I made $8,000 the entire year. $8,000 that year. But then next year, I made $187,000. And year 3, we made $500,000. And this year, we're on track to hit 2.5 million. So like, what happened, right? What happened? I love you guys. You're like, it's amazing. If I were you, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck, Lauren, just teach me how to do it. Thank you for the compliments, because I would not be so graceful if I was on the other line. I'd be like, okay, just fucking tell me. Sorry, the hype, the drama, what I do. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how I did this, right? How did I hit multiple 6 figures, and how did I do it with 0 ads, no outside marketing team, no fancy software or branding packages, no professional training. The drama makes it worth it. Oh my God, Victoria, that's awesome. So I'm going to read this to you. I thought this was stupid. I almost took this out of the slide, but I was like, I have to share this. So this is something from the 6-Figure BizBabe sales page, and I just want to read it to you so that you can hear it, because it is so important that as we go through this, you guys know that each and every one of you have the power to do this. It's so easy for us to listen to webinars like this and go, oh yeah, but I can't, right? Like, oh yeah, like that sounds great, but not me, right? So I need you to hear this from me, okay? I'm gonna try my best like not to get emotional, because I'm a cheesy sap with a big heart, but seriously, babe, you know you are destined for way more. It is time to get crystal clear on who you're helping, what your mission is, and how you can scale from 0 to 6 figures while feeling high vibe, authentic, and aligned with your core values. Together, we're going to break through your limiting beliefs around money and heal your relationship with money and yourself so you can finally show up consistently to implement tried and true 6-figure strategies that work time and time again. So I just want you to know, like, wherever you are right now is not where you have to be. Like, I really fucking mean that. And you can see that from my story. I had no evidence. Laura says she's crying. I had no evidence, right, to say I was going to be wealthy. I literally went my whole entire life without anything, right, struggling to get by. So if not now, when? But if not me, who, right? Like, I did it. Why can't you guys, right? We all have the power to do that. So are you ready for the 4 secrets to 6 figures? 40 minutes into this training. You guys are so pissed. You guys are amazing. I love you. Maria says, I'm getting so emotional. I'm so glad I signed up for 6 figures. Oh my God, Maria, at the end of this training, you're going to be even more excited because I have something really special for you guys. I made less than 10K this whole year too, Christina says. Yeah, so knowing that you made less than $10,000 this year, now this year you can make $187,000 because that's what I did, right? Okay, so let's talk. At the end of this training, I'm going to give you guys a bonus for all of our 6-figure BizBabe students. The cart is still open because when I came up with the idea to run this webinar, I knew that it would come past the 6-figure BizBabe enrollment time. So I wanted to give this value to everybody for free, but I didn't want to keep the cart closed when I made this really big announcement. So I just want you guys to stick around and be aware that the cart is open and that there's a bonus for all you 6-figure BizBabes at the end of this training. So here's number 1. Guys, get out a pen and paper and write these down, okay? Actually, oh no, we need to stop. Louis, if you feel like a failure at making $9,000 for a whole year, you'll feel like a failure when you make $20,000 and $60,000 and $100,000 and $1 million. You need to learn how to be so fucking proud of what you've already received so that you continue to receive more. Because this is what happens, like, not to talk at any of you specifically, but I think this is important to note. Like, if you feel ungrateful for the $9,000 month or the $9 month, right? The universe is going to go, oh, fuck you. I'm not giving you more. Think about, like, somebody who's trying to do something nice for you, like a boyfriend. If he comes and brings you flowers and you go, oh, yeah, this is only 3 flowers, though. I wanted a dozen. Sorry. Not my cup of tea. Or like, what the fuck? That guy's going to be like, you asshole, I'm not bringing you any more flowers. You have to love what's already coming to you. You have to feel so fucking grateful for what you have right now. And that will amplify your heart and you'll become a magnet for everything that you want. I love, you guys are blowing up. This is why I don't plan scripts when I do trainings, because I'm just like, I just want to love you and teach you. Gratitude is so important. Kelsey says, I've invested $5K in coaches last summer and made exactly 0. Yeah, and sometimes that happens, right? But I'm going to show you the right way to do it. Okay, so here we go. Ready for secret number 1. Secret number 1, find your expanders. Guys, you're going to walk away from this training and be like, really? That's it? 4 secrets? But guys, these secrets are so fucking powerful. Find your expanders. I'm going to explain to you what this means. Remember when I said I was poor my whole life, right? And I talked about how in a lot of my stories, I talk about how Matt and I left our apartment. We moved in with his parents. We put everything in storage. I had $60,000 in debt, right? Like, I tell this story. There were multiple times where my bank accounts were overdrawn. There were multiple times where I got hit with bills in the mail when I had 0 way of paying them. I lived in that reality. And I lived watching my parents fight over money, and I lived watching my parents struggle sometimes to make ends meet. Ashley says she loves my tattoo. This is Moana from Disney, Moana on the Rock, the waves. But I saw this, right? Like, I witnessed all of this struggle in my life. So I didn't have any evidence of wealth. I had an uncle who was wealthy, but I had my dad not get the love from his father that he wanted. And so I saw my uncle being really successful and wealthy and getting all this attention from his father, my grandpa. And I was like, oh, wealth creates competition. Wealth is bad. Wealth gets my dad upset. Wealth makes my dad talk about how rich people are evil, right? Like I don't want wealth. I grew up with evidence that wealth was bad and that debt was common and that struggle was inevitable. I didn't have expanders. Now, an expander, for those of you guys who are like, what the fuck is an expander? An expander is a person or an experience that you can witness that amplifies your ability to believe in what's possible. If you guys saw, I told one of you in this thread, I made $187,000 in a year, my second year of business, so can you. That's an expander, right? An expander is somebody that you look at and go, oh, they did it, I can too. And when you look at somebody who's far away from you, right? Like some of you may feel this way with me. If you haven't enrolled in any of my courses, you look at that and it almost feels unattainable because there's a distance created with it, right? So if I look at like, oh, Tony Robbins did it, right? Tony Robbins is so fucking distant. How am I going to feel connected to that, right? Or so-and-so made 6 figures and got a New York Times bestseller. I don't know her. I don't know her personality. I'm not connected to her energy. I have no idea how to believe with certainty that that person I don't even know did it, so I can too, because I don't know what they're doing, right? You need to find expanders. If I look at what happened in that January and February time period, one really big thing to take away is that I hired a coach. I hadn't even started working with the coach yet, but I hired the coach. And when I hired the coach, what happened in my brain is I was now connected to somebody who was wealthy. I had never been connected to somebody who was wealthy before. I had been around people who struggled all the time. Lori says, I'm her expander. Yes, and this is why you came in Six Figure Biz Babe, right? Because you get to connect into that energy and work with me on a more intimate level. So you have to find expanders. And it doesn't matter who your expander is, but it's somebody who's doing what you're doing, and that will allow you to see that it's possible. Time and time again, this has been huge for me. The month I hit my $80,000 month was the month I connected with Ian, the owner of Spiritual Gangster, and he was my expander. And I sat with him and I was like, I want to hit $80,000 in a month. And I remember being so fucking resistant to it because it felt like so conceited and pompous and like, oh my God, like, how dare you, right? But I knew when I saw his reaction, he was like, yeah, duh, fine, easy. My expander showed me how something else could be so simple just by his response, just by his engagement and interaction with me. When I stopped doing discovery calls because I didn't want to do discovery calls anymore, I found an expander. I connected with my friend Catherine, who told me, hey, I don't do discovery calls. Wow, she doesn't do it, I don't have to. But the connected energy was really powerful, right? Because you could look at people from a distance and say, oh yeah, like good for them. But when you connect into the energy, that's when everything changes because you get to experience the emotional connection to your desires on a deeper level. So back in the day, I had no one in my life that modeled anything that I wanted. Literally, I looked around, my friends, my family, there was nobody who I knew in a deeper way, other than knowing of them, that was doing what I wanted. So I had to find my expanders. This is important, guys. When you surround yourself with people who made it possible, it then becomes possible for you. And Kim, you don't have to talk to your expanders. You just have to do something to deepen your relationship with them so that you feel like you're getting to know them a little bit more than just knowing of them. Right? It could be as simple as enrolling in somebody's course or jumping on a webinar like you guys are all here today, right? Like just deepening your connection. You have to find an expander. So even if this is like, I want to lose 30 pounds, you need to find people who are losing 30 pounds and model them and get familiar with their lifestyle, right? Models, sometimes all you have to do is set the intention to find an expander, right? You don't have to go out and go, I need to find the perfect expander for me. All you have to do is really think to yourself, hey, you know, I really want to reach $8,000 this month. I need to find someone who's done that, right? And then connect with them. Be like, oh my God, that's so great. You did that. Like, what was your mind? What was your thought? I once had somebody ask me, like, what do you do every day? Or like, what are your daily routines, right? Nothing to do with business, but everything to do with my energy. Right? And that's really important to remember. So when you surround yourself with people who made it possible, it then becomes possible for you. So here's what I'd like you to ask yourself now, ladies. Who do I look up to, or who do I know of that I look up to and aspire to be, do, live, and feel like? Really important in all of those elements, because you can't just look at somebody who's wealthy, who hates their life and has a shitty personal life, right? and be like, oh yeah, I want what they want, because your subconscious mind is like, no, I don't fucking want that, right? So if you've ever seen people who overwork, or somebody who makes millions, but you can tell by her like Instagram feed, oh, my jewelry's flying everywhere. You could tell by her Instagram feed that she's like miserable, right? You don't want that. You want somebody who you aspire to be like, do, live, and feel like. And ask yourself, how can I connect with this person and learn all the things from them on a deeper level than I already am, right? Number 2, find your 6-figure strategy. Now, Bree is asking before we switch into this, can you have different people for different motivators? Absolutely. I have expanders for my weight loss. I have expanders for my self-care lifestyle. I have expanders for my money and my business and my relationship. I have expanders all over the place. Rachel says, honestly, you. Oh, you're so amazing. I love you. I talk about you sometimes to my boyfriend. He's like, who the fuck is this Lauren chick? It's so amazing. It's so funny because like we have the retreat coming up, and like I'm working, there's only 6 spots, right? There's 2 left, but we're only doing 6 girls at this retreat. And like, I cannot wait to hug these women and just like be in their presence. Cause I feel like even though I haven't gotten to meet many of you guys personally, I feel like I know you, right? Like I feel like we're soul sisters, right? So secret number 2 is to find your 6-figure strategy. Now, if you look at the first year of my business, what I did wrong was trying to do all the things. Yes, Jacqueline says that's why she signed up for the retreat. Yay! It's amazing. So good. So excited. Sorry, I'm speechless because I'm loving all of your comments where you're just like, you're my expander. Okay, so 6-figure secret number 2 is to find your 6-figure strategy. And back in the day, I didn't have a strategy. I just had 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day, sometimes 12 if I was being crazy, just trying to do a bunch of different shit. And I remember thinking, I got to build my website. I got to go on Pinterest. Oh, that person's doing Instagram lives. I should do Instagram lives. Oh, that person's doing Facebook lives. Should I do Facebook lives or should I do Instagram lives? Oh, PDF guides. I need to do that. How do I get those on an opt-in? Right? Like I was just, that's exactly where my brain was. It was like all over the fucking place. I didn't have a 6-figure strategy. I was overworking and getting extremely burnt out. And so what ended up happening between January and February was I actually started to use one expander and modeled one specific strategy, because the rabbit hole of entrepreneurship is you could look at 20 different people who have all created 6 figures, but they're all doing it differently. And when you pull yourself in all those different directions and you're like, oh, I'm going to try to do what Lauren did. I'm going to try to do what Jen did. I'm going to try to do what Angie did. I'm going to try to do what this person did. You have no foundation. It's squirrel syndrome to the max. You're just like, all over the place, right? So really important, you anchor into one strategy. Claudia says breakthrough. Yes. Back in the day, I was trying a million different things and nothing was working. And what I didn't realize was that success is not created doing a million different things. Success is created doing the few things that work. Oh, you guys you got breakthroughs all over the place. Breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough. Now, a lot of you will probably sit here and be like, strategy, 6 figures. Yes, teach me. All of our 6-figure biz babes, because there's like, I think 90% of you on this call are 6-figure biz babe students. You're going to get that through the 6-figure biz babe course. So you're in the right place, right? You have all taken a big, beautiful step of figuring out and anchoring into a very specific strategy. I'm so proud of you for that. But just remember too, there's a million different strategies out there. You have to find an expander that you admire and then model their strategy time and time again. So I want you to ask yourself here for this item of our secrets. Laura has a breakthrough. Yay! Alicia has a breakthrough. Who has a business that I admire? And what are 3 things that they're doing consistently every day in their business and their lives? Okay? Take it down to specifics. Model them. What are they doing? What are they doing in their life every day that's allowing them to create success? What are their habits and routines? And what 3 things can I take from them? Does your expander have to be in the same industry? Absolutely not, Rosie. No, no, no. Your 6-figure secrets don't have to be in the same industry either, right? When we talk about 6-figure strategy, you can adopt strategy from somebody who's a business coach and just model their stuff in your life coaching or in your network marketing business. It doesn't matter, right? Like I teach women in all different industries how to grow 6-figure businesses because the method applies, right? So find your expander, anchor in, and then ask yourself, what are 3 things that they do every day in their routine, in their lifestyle, or in their work routine? And how can I take those things and implement? What is one thing I can do right now to commit to modeling that person? Really important. Yes. Kylie, I'm your expander. Thank you. That makes me feel so special. I love being people's expanders because I know how influential my expanders have been in my own life. So here's secret number 3. Heal your money stories, your blocks, and your bullshit. This is where, unfortunately, if you guys can start to observe this, right? We're talking about expanders, right? Number 1. Number 2, strategy, 6-figure strategy. And number 3, mindset, healing your money stories, your blocks, and your bullshit around receiving, right? This was so powerful for me. And I think a lot of people just stay here, right? And this is the problem, I think, with a lot of the culture of mindset work. It's like sometimes we just dive into this one secret and we don't do any of the other secrets, right? We don't find expanders. We don't have a strategy. We don't do step number 4. And then as a result, you're kind of like, oh, I love money, but I have no idea how to fucking make it, right? And then you get kind of lost. So it's important to remember, like, each of these secrets must be mastered. You can't leave any of these out, because if you leave one of them out, you're completely off balance. So secret number 3 is healing your money, your blocks, your stories, your bullshit, all around receiving. And you guys know I've shared this multiple times. I had a really hard time visualizing or even tapping into the idea that I would make an $8,000 month. I had never in my life ever made $8,000. I had the same resistance when I hit my first 20 and I hit my first 30 and I hit my first 50 and 70. And there's always resistance at every level. At every level, you're doing the healing work. So some people even go as far as to say, oh, I have to figure out my emotional shit first and then I'll design my business. Fuck no. You'll be waiting your whole goddamn life because you're always learning, you're always healing, and you're always going deeper into those stories. Now, it was important to mention here with secret number 3, a lot of us call these blocks, but they're so easy to be broken down simply just by recognizing that they exist. Majority of what we know about success and financial freedom and money, we've learned from our parents between the ages of 2 and 18. So if you've witnessed things in your life, if you saw your dad struggling to pay the bills, if you saw your parents fighting, if you saw my dad threw a shoe at me once when I used a credit card, right? I had very painful experiences associated with debt and struggle, and I saw them my whole entire life. So I had no idea what the fuck to do in this area. January and February, that was actually the same exact month that I started to do the inner work around my money mindset. I got books, I got a journal, I started to go deep. I really started to reevaluate my perception of wealth and money, and I did a lot of the healing work around those old stories. So if you don't know how to do this, stand by, because we have some stuff later on to share with you. You can always start. Even something as simple as writing a forgiveness letter to money is a great step to take in the direction of mastering secret number 3. So in order to create wealth, I needed to start thinking like a wealthy person. It's just it. If I wanted to create wealth, I needed to think like a wealthy person. And that meant healing old stories that money is hard to come by and shifting into an abundance mindset, which was something I didn't know how to do until that January, February month. So I want you to ask yourself now, do I have a healthy relationship with money? Probably not. Scale of 1 to 10, guys. Let's just do this as a test. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I love money and it's so healthy. I love money and money loves me. Where are you? 4, 2, 9, 10. Cool. A lot of you guys are good here. Here's what I'll say. You will never, for me, this is my strong belief, and I think all of us have different perception, but for me, I will never be a 10 here because I'm always trying to improve, right? And so if I gave myself a 10, I'd be like, oh, you're solved, you're fixed, right? I'm always trying to improve my relationship with money. It can always, just like a dating relationship, it can always get better. So right now I'm kind of, I would say it like a 9 or 9.5, right? Erica says, I've learned not to stress about money. It will come when it needs to. Yeah, and this is the other thing too. Like if you also saw, when I started learning this, everyone talked about the masculine. They talked about dad and what you saw dad do with money. But like my mom never spent a dime on herself. My mom wouldn't even get her nails done. And every time I went to go do something for myself with money, she made me feel guilty because I should have been saving. So how do you think that translated to receiving? Why on earth would I want to manifest a $10,000 month if I had a subconscious belief that said I wouldn't be able to spend that money on myself without feeling guilty? If I have that subconscious belief, I'm going to repel the idea of a $10,000 month. I'm going to push it away. Right? So this is a really important area for you to start working on. Rosie says, my mom still makes me feel guilty. Yeah. Secret number 4. Wait, did we skip something? No, we didn't. Okay. Secret number 4. This one had me laughing my ass off. I'm pretty sure entrepreneur is spelled wrong. I'm not actually. I don't know. I always forget if the U or the E goes first. But anyway, yeah, so this was me. Hi, guys. I was fucking miserable. I was so miserable. I wanted to create 6 figures because I thought I'd be successful and feel good about myself. And I, at the time, just didn't feel good about myself, right? So secret number 4, in January and February, when I started to take care of my confidence, I really started to shift into identifying with this 6-figure version of me. And at the time, in the months prior, right, July, August, September, October, those months, I was sitting in front of the computer for 12 hours a day. I was eating chips and coffee. I was gaining a fuck ton of weight. I was doing nothing to care for myself. I was completely insecure. I was totally unhappy. And I thought, well, one day you'll just make a lot of money and this will fix itself. And that's not what happened. What happened was I needed to believe in the 6-figure version of me. She was out there. I needed to find her. And the 6-figure version of me, Lisa says, your transformation has been amazing. I've lost 60 pounds. I was able to heal these old stories. This is the thing, guys. Like, we have students who go through 6-figure Biz Babe and they transform their relationships, their weight, their body. They transform their business. They transform everything because the big part of that course is like you need to evolve into the 6-figure version of you. You want to make 6 figures? What the fuck does that look like, right? And who would you be? Lori says that's the one thing my workbook has. Yeah, when you're writing a letter to your future self, if you don't know the future self, so like I knew, okay, future self, she woke up every day and she got dressed and she danced while she was getting dressed because she had a big, beautiful closet and she loved putting on clothes and she felt so sexy and she got fancy every morning, right? And she smiled with her whole entire body, right? And she really was proud of who she was and she was lit up in her eyes, right? Those small things, when you know that's the version of you, you need to drive towards that. And at the time, I really didn't understand that. And it wasn't until January and February where I made the commitment to lose weight and to take care of my body and to really start becoming that version of myself that I could see in a reflection of my expanders, right? That's when everything started to change. A confident person creates financial success. Write that down, guys. It's so important. A confident person creates financial success. I was not a confident person, but by healing my worthiness and learning how to transform my feelings of being good enough, I became a money magnet and my business exploded. This is what, when we talk about in 6-figure Biz Babe, the energies of receiving and the ability to become a magnet, so to speak, this is about you becoming that version of yourself. And like, I wanted to help people, but I was still a mess, right? Like, I was unhappy. I was suffering depression. I had fights with my husband. I wasn't feeling good enough. I felt insecure. I mean, how the fuck do you expect to like receive money from people when you feel that way, right? In any area of life. So I needed to do a lot of work around this. This was probably the biggest piece of the 4 secrets for me that has just taken us to the $1 million level because I was able to heal my worthiness, right? And I learned how to transform my feelings of good enough. I became a money magnet. That's really what happened. So something to ask yourself, what other areas of my life make me feel less than? Can we explore this for a minute, guys? Put in the comments, what are the other areas for you in your life where you're kind of like, yeah, you know what? Like, I need to fix that. Is it your relationship? Is your time management? Is it your body? Yeah, your marriage, self-care, maybe taking time for yourself, having good social circles. It's so important. In 6-figure Biz Babe, we talk about like the elements of your whole identity and like mastering all of those areas, because once you start to do that, you feel so good and you just want people around you to help. And whether you're selling a network marketing product or you're selling a life coaching product or you're selling your own services not related to results for people, at the end of the day, people are buying with emotion. They're buying to tap into your emotion. They want something that you have. So it's your job to accomplish that, right? My relationship with my parents, yes. So what could I accomplish if I felt like a fierce, badass woman who could do anything? Really important. So I want to recap with you, and then I want to walk you through a little meditation, and then we'll wrap up, and we have some bonus stuff that I want to share with you guys at the end. So first and foremost, just let's recap all of these. 4 secrets to 6 figures. Monica's asking, did you have a coach walk you through these? No, these are mine, right? They're mine. They're tried and true. They're tested. They work for me. They work for all my clients. This was the result of what I did when I was creating my success consciousness. And I was like, okay, wait, I created success. How did I do that, right? I went back. And my expanders over time have changed. My expander was my first coach. My expander was Tony Robbins. My expander was some of my soul sisters who I really look up to for their businesses and their relationships. And I just continue to collect those expanders. And when I see people, I'm like, oh, they're doing it. I could do it, right? Every single thing, every area of your life. So I want you to imagine a world where, because this is reality, this can be reality if you choose. I want you to imagine a world where success is truly possible, where you have the right business strategy for 6 figures that works and you don't have to look for it. It's right in front of you. I want you to imagine a world where you develop such a healthy relationship with money that it just flocks to you. And imagine a version of yourself that has unshakable confidence. Now think back to that goal, the goal you wrote down when you came into this training. How fucking possible? How possible? Yes. Beautiful, you guys. So, do you decide? The question is, do you really decide? Is this going to be your year? Will this be the year that you declare that goal and that you do everything in your power to receive it? So here are some questions when I'm aligning with my goals. This will be really helpful for you guys. What do you see when you are successful? What do you see? Do you see like a bucket of money? Do you see bills coming to you and like not judging them at all? Do you see clients just booking discovery calls with you left and right? Do you see yourself speaking on stage? What do you see, right? Sierra says, I see a smile on my face. Yes. What does it feel like to be successful? What does it feel like to be successful? Crying with joy, Kathleen says. Freeing and awesome. I see a tribe of women connecting daily, and it feels amazing as fuck. Fucking awesome. I love when you guys curse. Calmness. Feeling happy and relieved. Yes. Now I want you to imagine hearing people around you being so proud of you, right? Imagine your husband or your partner telling you how proud he is, saying, I'm so impressed with you, honey. Imagine your friends and your family coming to you and telling you, what would that feel like to hear people being so proud of you, right? That was a big one for me, like to imagine that, finally getting that acceptance and that pride from my family, my everybody, all my peers, right? Imagine knowing the right strategy in front of you, like without a doubt, and making business effortless. How would that feel? Relieving, amazing as hell. So important to remember, guys, it can be easy. So it's time for you to decide. After this training, I want you, Amrita says, I'm in tears. I love you, honey. After this training, I want all of you guys to get out a pen and paper and write down what you learned about yourself, because you took things, right? You took things from my story. You took things from the 4 secrets. You want to reflect here and really discover what you're deciding to become. Who do you decide to be in 2019? It's really, really important. I've had students, when we talk about expanders, right? I've had students through our programs who've gone on to hit $10,000 months consistently, $17,000 months. And I'm not sharing this with you guys to brag, right? These are 2 women who have been featured this month in our group. I'm sharing this with you because these women are normal women, right? Just like me. They were women with a dream and a vision in very different businesses. And regardless of where you are, that's not where you have to be. You can transform and create everything that you desire. Now, can I get a comment from you guys? Who here, again, put yes in the comments, is enrolled in Six Figure Biz Babe? Can I just see? Oh, yes. You guys ready for the surprise? I'm so excited. There's so many of you. Oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, so in Six Figure Biz Babe, because we haven't started yet, this program starts February 4th. So all of you guys who are in the program, I just want to share with you, these are the things we're going to be covering, right? So you went through this course and you have these 4 secrets, and now you're probably like, oh my God, what the fuck, where do I start, right? You're going to have me as an expander, okay? So deep breaths, number 1. We're going to be working closely together. It's going to be amazing. You're going to learn my exact 6-figure strategy through the 6-figure Biz Babe course. So there's no second guessing strategy. It's all right in front of you. You're going to learn all of my money mindset healing tools. You're going to learn how to master my confidence creation technique. And you're going to have a tribe of expanders around you, right? This is going to be amazing. So all of our 6-figure Biz Babe students on the line, trust you're in the right place. And if you're not in 6-figure Biz Babe, don't worry. You can still use all the tools you learned today. So the 4 secrets of 6-figure: find your expanders, study the right business strategy, heal your relationship with money, and unleash your confidence and feeling worthy. Now, here's the thing, guys. This is so, so important. When I went on my journey to creating 6 figures, you can see of the 4 secrets, half of this is mindset. Half of this is your brain. And a lot of us can look at that and go, oh, this is bad. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. Or we can say, holy shit, half of this is so fucking easy. It's just me. All I have to do is decide. So a lot of us go into this place where we want to make changes and we don't know how, and we have a subconscious mind that we want to fix. How many of you guys have subconscious programming that you just like, oh my God, I fucking hate it, I want to fix it? Your fear around money, your confidence, your insecurity, your doubt, right? Wavering. How many of us? We all want to fix this, right? Beautiful. Well, guess what, 6-figure Biz Babes? Every student who enrolled in 6-figure Biz Babe this round or in the rounds prior is going to get 30-day access to my reprogramming tools. This is a free bonus for all of our 6-figure Biz Babe students. I'm so excited I'm announcing this. This is called Good Enough Reprogramming. It is not released. This is something that I've been mastering for years. It is a go at your own pace reprogramming system for your subconscious mind, for all of the thoughts and insecurities that come up into your brain. You go through this and I'm telling you guys, everything is going to fucking change. I am so excited. I've been studying this for 2 years and I finally put it into a practice that I can now teach, and it's going to blow your fucking mind. And again, this is for all 6-figure Biz Babe students. You're going to get 30 days free access to this starting February 4th when your course for 6-figure Biz Babe begins, okay? So here's what we're going to cover. I'm so excited. So this is what's going to happen. When you go through Good Enough Reprogramming, we're going to be focused on fixing very specific areas of your mindset that stop you from being able to receive. So number 1, we're going to heal our relationship with money so we can become a magnet for wealth, okay? That's item number 1. We're going to fix our relationship with money. So no more feeling icky when somebody pays you. No more feeling overwhelmed whether or not people are giving you money. No more stressing out about paying your bills. No more feeling insecure and unworthy around your ability to receive, right? Number 2, we're going to, in the Good Enough Reprogramming series, you're going to heal your level of self-worth. So I'm going to teach you how to become unshakably confident, okay? This is that feeling of like not knowing how to feel comfortable on social media, or wanting to share and doubting yourself, or sharing and then feeling insecure, or going on Facebook Live and thinking that you have nothing to teach, right? All of this stuff, we're going to be healing all of this so that you can show up in a place where you feel so certain around what you sell, even if you're a real estate agent, right? This is powerful. Learning how to be so confident in the value of what you offer so that people are so attracted to you. And then finally, this program, or Good Enough Reprogramming, it's not a program, it's for reprogramming, is going to heal your ability to lead effectively. So this is about really learning how to be that person that people look up to. Like, I hear this all the time when people are like, oh, Lauren, you're so inspiring, or I look up to you, or you're my expander. Lorna Liz Love didn't fucking exist, right? I designed this person. I was miserable at one point in my life, right? And so I learned how to change myself and evolve my identity and become a leader. That's something I became. It wasn't something I was born with, right? I'm going to teach all of you guys how to do that in Good Enough Reprogramming. In that course, it's not really a course, it's a reprogramming tool. This is the breakdown so you guys know what you're getting. It's the 7 steps to radical transformation, 3 mindsets of operation, 4 energies of receiving. That is the premise and foundation of everything that we cover. And again, just like the 4 secrets to 6 figures, this is not anything that you can find anywhere in a book. This is literally my tried and true method that I teach with all of my one-on-one clients and now with all of you in Good Enough Reprogramming. You get 25 plus videos for reprogramming the subconscious mind, 4 hypnosis meditations, 8 PDF guides, and again, this is all free for 6 Figure Biz Babe students. So if you've enrolled in 6 Figure Biz Babe any previous round, it's important to note that this will go live. The Good Enough Reprogramming will go live for you on February 4th, and it will be live and available for 30 days. Just like 6 Figure Biz Babe students who are in the program now. So regardless of what time you've done 6 Figure Biz Babe, you're gonna have a 30-day run of availability and then that closes, right? So I got this question with my team when I came up with this idea. I was like, this is finally ready to go. I don't wanna wait to share this. I want this to be out. We had a thought of like, well, the cart was closed, right? 6 Figure Biz Babe cart was closed. So we've reopened the cart. So if anybody wants to jump into this opportunity, because I didn't want anybody to miss out, you can still jump into 6 Figure Biz Babe and get access just like everybody else to that reprogramming course. And again, that reprogramming is not available for sale yet, and it's gonna be in the multiple hundreds of dollars. So this is a beautiful opportunity for you guys to get on a reprogramming system that works and to use it in addition to your 6 Figure Biz Babe journey. So I'm so excited for you. How did you guys feel about this training? Was this epic? Everyone's like, no. Sometimes I ask questions and I like wait for you guys to respond. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. So yes, I had a blast. This was so fucking fun. It was such an honor for me to be here with you. Thank you so much for showing up and letting me share my heart with all of you. I cannot wait to see all of you guys in 6 Figure Biz Babe, and I cannot wait for you guys to go through the reprogramming system. It is going to be amazing. Any questions? You know what I'd really love for you guys to do? Can you screenshot and share in the Badass Business Babe group, you with your computer or just you smiling after this training, or maybe your notebook? Like, I want you to share with the community so I can see like what you learned and how you experienced this webinar. It would be such an honor for me. And again, for anybody that still wants to jump into 6 Figure Biz Babe, we will be keeping the cart open for just a little while longer so that anybody who wants to get access to the reprogramming and 6 Figure Biz Babe can do so. I love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. My cheeks are so rosy and flushed. Yes, I'm going to send all of you guys a recording via email as well. So you'll get access to the recording. And then I might send the slides as well, just so that if you need to go through the slides, you can do that too. But I love all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing, amazing day. And again, come into 6 Figure Biz Babe. You'll get access to both. It'll be awesome. I cannot wait to start the journey with all of you guys on February 4th. Love you. Have an amazing day. Bye.